Live from the studio, I'm Jimmy Selesky.
I'm Eric Glazer.
Perfect.
We got Natty Light on the podcast.
Brought to you by
Bud
Light, now gay. No, we're brought to you by Natural Light, the official beer of idiots.
Natural Light, the official trans beer.
Bud Light, the official sponsor of, well, it used to be me and other people like me. Low class, technically an alcoholic on paper, but who's counting? I've always thought that was kind of bullshit. I don't like that they have like a number. What is it, like 14? If you drink 14 drinks a week, you're an alcoholic. That's not hard. Even if you average it out, that's 2 drinks a day. I don't necessarily know of any trembling, dysfunctional, life-ruining, job-losing, wife-beating alcoholics that are just a slave to 2 beers a day. I don't know if that exists. Even if you said, okay, I don't drink Monday through Thursday, but the weekends I go hard. It's like, oh no, on Friday you have 7 beers? And then Saturday or Sunday you have 7, or maybe you have 3.5, and then 3.5? That's just called going out. Do you know how easy it is to drink 14 drinks? Every time you drink a bomb, that's 1. A shot, that's 1. A vodka soda. 14 drinks? You're an alcoholic? I had to wake up for traffic court at 8. Showed up. She wasn't there.
Hell yeah.
She knew she didn't want the smoke.
Ooh.
And so when I pulled up to the bench, when I approached the bench, I had prepared a whole diatribe, a whole podcast segment.
Yeah, you had PowerPoint.
I was kind of expecting the judge to kind of like help me. She didn't. She made me say it, and I was like, not guilty. And she was like, all right, cool, you're good to go. I was like, oh, snap.
Nice.
She said, all right, just drive safer next time. Which I'm not going to lie, kind of pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because I already was driving safely.
Yeah.
Now you think that I'm only not guilty.
I just got lucky.
I didn't get lucky. I would have won this case, lady.
Yeah.
Your Honor. I was prepared to win this case.
Damn.
When she said, like, just drive safely, I almost was like, I already do. Oh, I do.
Oh.
In fact, I'm appealing this.
You know, like a bar neon sign. They're probably not that expensive.
I guess when you get it custom made, because most neon signs are just like, you get like a Budweiser one.
Yeah.
They send it to you.
Or the lady with the 2 beers.
Yeah.
St.
Dylan
Paul.
Mulvaney, yeah. We're at a point now with subtitles, we don't even express the story with our words anymore. You got to fucking put on subtitles now. I don't even know what you're fucking saying, bro. I got to read now? I don't even want to read. I don't. I know they say it makes you smarter. I also don't agree with that. It takes a long time to read. If your main consumption of information is reading, you're fucking way behind, dude. Because I could watch a video right now that not only talks to me. Imagine if you were reading this podcast right now. You'd be like 12 minutes ago. You'd be on like my first beer. As Jimmy chugs his second beer, he announces, blah, blah. We're way ahead of you, dude. Readers need to get off their high horse, honestly. You and I have discussed that smoking does seem to be, thankfully, coming back.
Yes.
Because now everybody vapes. And I think the problem with vaping is it intrinsically does not look cool.
I
It's
do
just really-
think that those Truth cigarette commercials were total fiction. Now that you bring it up,
Well, those commercials are, and I as I light up a cigarette. This segment is brought to you
all
by
those-
Camel Crush.
Wasn't it like my brother told me, I think, that it's like the companies have to pay for basically, you're such a bad thing, you got to pay this tax like for anti-smoking stuff.
Yeah.
So they purposefully make it dumb. It's like they have to do it, and then they just
Well,
just do
because
whatever.
they legally can't do commercials for cigarettes anymore. So the only commercial they can get is by putting out an anti-smoking campaign.
They're not allowed to make smoking look cool. So instead, what they have to do is make not smoking look so incredibly uncool. If you hate your ex, that is partially on you. It's just kind of like, I've always said, if you have more than one shitty ex, you're the shitty ex.
Yeah.
Because this is a person that you decided that you were going to like be in love with, share all these moments with, potentially get married, and you dated them for like maybe a year, maybe a little less than that, but like a long-term type of thing, long enough to be considered like, this is a person that you're picking. This is a person of all the people in the world that you could have picked to be your significant other. You picked this person, and yet somehow all the people you picked suck. Maybe you suck. I guess when I was 18, when I was 18, I had an adult tick,
Yeah.
but not really.
Yeah, not really.
It was in like a.
I think my adult dick came in at like 22.
I kind of wish I took like a growth chart.
I wish I
notches on
did
my
one of those
bedpost.
things where it was like I took a picture of it every day, and then when you put it in like a super sped up time lapse, you can see the actual change of it. Because as of now, like I couldn't tell you the difference between my dick now and 20 years ago.
Well, it's so gradual, and it's
Yeah.
had so few inches to go.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like the Japanese art form where they start in one position and then move throughout the whole show.
oh yeah.
But you can't even see them move.
I thought you were gonna say the other Japanese art form, bonsai, where they
Oh.
make everything really small. I was like, yeah, that's like my dick.
No, that's what I do with my pubes.
I bonsai'd my dick.
I bonsai my pubes to make them look normal size, but in fact, they're actually very tiny.
My pubes are adorable.
Yeah.
They're like little big pubes. If I'm in the fast lane and I'm already going 10 miles over the speed limit, and you want to go faster than that, and you're tailing me behind me with your fucking headlights on, you can go around. Because in order for you to go faster than me, you already have to break the law. So I'm supposed to believe that simultaneously, you're this stickler for the law. Well, technically, if you're in the passing lane, you're not supposed to be riding it, but also I'm going to go 30 over. Can't have it both ways, buddy. You're either going to be the guy who's speeding, or you're going to be the guy who is obeying every single traffic rule. You don't get to speed and then come up on me who's already doing 80 in a 65 and then follow me for fucking 3 miles, beeping. First of all, I want to know what is going through those people's minds when they're driving. Do they legitimately feel like there's 7 billion people on the fucking planet, and all I have to do for everyone to simply get out of my way is just go faster? You what are you, fucking Moses? I'm just gonna hit the gas, and it's everyone's fucking job to just part. Cause I wanna go fast, dude. No. If I'm in the fast lane and I'm not doing 10 over, I'll move. Because there are times when I do that. There are times when I'm not speeding.
Start
Believe
paying,
it or
like
not.
not paying attention. Yeah, I do that all the time.
I look down and I'm accidentally just going the speed lane, and I'm like, Jesus
Oh, yeah.
Christ. Pick it up.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Just obeying the law. Accidentally, of course.
Super weird.
I don't want my daughter to be an OnlyFans girl. I don't want her to be a prostitute. I don't want her to be an escort. I don't want her to be a sugar baby. I don't want these things for my daughter because I don't look at them as actually empowering fields of work. I don't. Sorry. If you disagree with me, then you can go tell your daughter to have an OnlyFans and tell her to fuck dudes for money. That's your life decision. I don't agree with that. I don't want that. So sue me.
For your hypothetical daughter.
For my hypothetical daughter.
For the daughter of your dreams.
Yeah. Daughter of my dreams is not on OnlyFans. Sorry. I'm pretty.
I
That
feel
should
like
be your dreams too.
When you're a
Unless you're a
dad,
sick fuck.
you don't even want your daughter to fuck.
Yeah, I don't. And it definitely not for money. I mean, like, it's like, so
Listen, I mean, if she's getting something out of it, why not?
she's getting more than most girls get out of fucking. I'll say that in my future hypothetical daughter's defense. Think of what was going on the 3rd of July. That had to be like the most monumental day in the lead up, because like the 4th is just when they like just kind of like mailed the letter. But the 3rd of July is the day that they were like sitting there like, are we really about to do this? Like, dude, you're saying tomorrow?
Like, do you guys think it got there yet?
Fucking Pony Express riding across the Atlantic. And then by the time you get their response back,
You forgot you were waiting on a yes or no.
because that's how you find out, obviously, is like they're not going to send you a letter back and be like, well, you just fucked up. They're probably just going to pull up on you.
Probably.
Like, you're going to send the letter, and then after it takes a ship to get across the Atlantic, King George reads it. He's like, fuck this. He organizes an army and sends it across.
That's at least 4 or 5 months at that point.
Yeah.
You're sitting there 4 or 5 months later being like, this independence thing, isn't this great?
They were surprisingly cool with it.
I thought this is gonna go over way worse. And they just pull up and you're like, oh shit, I forgot we sent that letter.
Oh my god.
This is such like a textbook, just exactly something Drake would say, like, what's with that? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Which I don't dislike.
Well, and here's the thing. No, it sucks. I feel like it's better than the last song Drake put out. That like search and rescue song.
Mm-hmm.
Come and rescue me. Like I'd rather have heart on my sleeve, knife in my back.
That's the
What's
issue.
with that?
What's with that? What's with that?
What's with that?
Welcome to our talk show. What's with that?
Man, that would be a good name for a podcast. We should just cancel our podcast and start the What's With That pod.
We're good to end this at 3:05. That's fine.
Just rebrand it.
Welcome to What's With That with Jimmy and Eric, episode 1.
Coming up next, Pross from the Fugees was actually a Chinese spy.
What's with that? DUIs, sorry, scam. It's a fucking scam, dude.
Yeah.
It should be illegal, but also I don't see any reason at all why I shouldn't be allowed to drink and drive as long as I'm not drunk. Like it's always
as long as you're not gonna like run over people.
You can drink like 4 beers at a bar, and as long as you're not over 0.08, you can hop in a car and drive. But if I were hypothetically in a completely alternate dimension that would never exist in this dimension, drink 1 natty light on the way to Fells Point, that's like you're fucking done. But that other guy is like 4 beers deep and driving, but just because he doesn't have a can in the car, it's like that never made sense to me. Up until recently, there were a couple states, and the ones you're thinking, Mississippi, Louisiana, the good states that are like, dude, look, if you're not fucked up, I'm not going to tell you can't drink and drive. When I was a little boy, my neighbor, Mr. Dave, had a shed made of wood. We also had a lot of carpenter bees in our neighborhood, and he would pay all the neighborhood kids 25 cents per dead carpenter bee that we would bring to him. And we'd go around with like a fucking wiffle bat and some other shit, tennis rackets. And dude, that fixed the problem, man. When you got a whole neighborhood of kids just paid assassins, why doesn't the United States government have a certain type of program where they go, look, what do you think would be a good amount? What would make you start killing?
Good question. Probably 50 cents. If you're homeless and instead of picking up cigarette butts to like just collect a bunch of bugs and get a real pack.
2 bugs is a Lucy. You create a whole new fucking market. You go out there, you kill 2 fucking lanternflies. Now you got a cigarette. You bring them into the fucking local station. Boom. You don't even have to pay people the 50 cents. Just give them a cigarette. Now we're just trading. Now we're just skipping the middleman. Look, if we already have the kill on sight order from the government, why not make it a little interesting, you know? A little interesting. I'm joking, but I'm not.
Get some bounties out there.
There's plenty of public service projects that we have that for some of this shit doesn't even make a fucking difference. This would directly make the situation better. You put money in, you get bugs out, boom. And now everybody has a job. You got a fucking unemployment problem? No, you don't. Oh, you don't have a job? You got a bat? You got a fucking piece of paper folded up? You got a job. We decided to go with just Baltimore in plain font because Baltimore doesn't need to hide behind a nickname. We are Baltimore and we're proud of it. Okay, but we already have a jersey that says Baltimore on it. It's called our jersey.
Yeah, the whole press release for the uniform drop, it looked like they used like AI to write that brief.
They probably did. I smell mica. I smell mica. You get this sense of like somebody trying to do something that was like a social commentary, trying to make it this deep concept that captures the inner strife and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sorry, that's not what this is about. And not everything has to be about that. Sometimes it's just supposed to be fun, and it's an opportunity.
Or cool.
Or cool. Fun or cool. Look, if you did
or
it...
look good.
Or look good. That's really the main thing.
That's all it has to be.
You know? This is an opportunity to be like, yo, other cities have done their city connections. Like, great, yeah, we get it. You're from San Diego, cool. But Maryland, if there's any fucking place that's going to just put on with a sick fucking balls to the wall, like
inspiring type of like, didn't even know you could do that type shit, it would be us. And instead they went, yeah, people think we're boring, so we just said, fuck it, we are. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's more than disappointing. It's insulting. Because the other thing that's crazy about the story of Jesus is there's an entire section of his life that's missing. It starts like when he's born, and that's a big deal. Everybody's like, yo, this kid was born and we don't know how because she says she didn't have sex. So
And
we're taking
somehow
her word for it.
the three kings showed up.
Bringing him frankincense, gold, and myrrh, and the other, a partridge in a pear tree or whatever else is on the fucking... All right, cool. So this kid was born, and he's awesome. And then... 30 years later... And you're like, dude, what the fuck? What happened? What led to this?
Yeah.
You're
probably wondering how I got in this situation. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm Jesus. Yeah, my dad's kind of cool, but he hasn't really been around my whole life.
My car broke down the other week. I have become recently a pedestrian. I am sometimes a pedestrian. I am mostly a car driver. I've forgotten what it's like to only be able to walk places. I'm walking in a median strip, which is even worse than walking on a sidewalk. When you're walking on a sidewalk, it's like, this guy walks. That's nice. He's healthy. When you're walking on a median strip, there's something wrong in your life. Something went wrong. You shouldn't really be walking on a median strip. I actually try to avoid median strips as much as possible. Sometimes you're trying to jaywalk and you can only make it halfway. You cross the road, immediately homeless. And now you're just fucking homeless until you can make it to the other side. And then you're just back to being you again. It's weird like that. And I've experienced that several times this week. I've gone in and out of homelessness several times strictly by standing on a median strip.